Tom Bodett once stated, "They say a person needs just three things to truly be happy in this world: someone to love, something to do, and something to hope for." I had all three at a very early age. I married my high school sweetheart as soon as I graduated. I was someone who had such charisma, such passion for life. I was someone who never met a stranger, who could and would befriend even the toughest of personalities. I was someone who had options and a promising future, who wasn't scared of anything, and who was determined to save the world by protecting and serving those who were in need. My nights consisted of board games, bonfires, and good food with lifelong friends and family. I looked forward to having children, reading them bedtime stories, and taking them to the park. I had an abundance of hope and love to spread around. 4 months after I was married, I endured a trauma which turned my life upside down. It made me reevaluate the world. I lost all hope in humanity, all hope in myself, all hope in everything. I became a shell of the person I had once been. I lived on autopilot: smile here, speak now, do this. But there was no emotion involved because I couldn't afford to feel anything. I could barely function and worried about making it day to day, much less planning for any kind of future. I lived without living. So sorry. Basic things a normal person could do, I found to be nearly impossible. Going to the grocery store, or anywhere for that matter by myself, would send me into a panic. Going out to eat, even with my husband or parents, would result in me begging to return home. Going to church, a place I was raised, left me questioning my beliefs and why this had to happen to me. I continued to fake it until you make it, as some would say. My husband stuck by me and wasn't afraid to lend me the support when it was needed. So even though I felt like I was alone, I never really was. We began our family in the hope that one of my past dreams coming to light would help me regain some of my old self. Having children gave me someone else to focus on, but it didn't change the fact that I still allowed fear to run my life. After all, I still could not step foot inside of a grocery store by myself. I realized I wanted so much more out of life. I didn't want my life to end with me being a self-exiled, shut-in, stay-at-home mom. I wanted a purpose, to make a difference, to feel like I was contributing, to be someone I could be proud of, someone my kids would look up to, someone who had hopes and dreams. I knew I had a lot to work on, but by this time I was tired of letting my fear and pain win. It took 7 years when a close friend, also a Blue Ridge alumni, who had stuck by me through it all, suggested that I take classes here to help me learn how to function in a community setting again. She inspired me every day because she was also a mom. She had her own struggles, but she refused to give up. She not only believed in me, but also this school enough to vouch for the atmosphere I would be entering. She allowed me to finally consider college as a possibility. The obstacle I faced then became of the financial variety. My friend and I sat down and reviewed my options. I was eligible for financial aid, and some of my classes needed for my degree were online. This allowed me to begin my college career because online classes meant I could face my fears slowly, as I would only have to go to school and be around strangers for midterm tests and final exams. Online also meant that I would not have to come up with money for gas, nor would I have to find funds to pay a babysitter. After all, my husband and I are used to living off of a $15 an hour salary for a 5-person family, and I could not afford to take even the smallest amount away from our bills. Online classes seemed sort of possible, but fear kept getting in the way. I used the excuses that I had kids I had to think about, that I wouldn't be able to learn the material because I had been out of school for so long. Yet every fear, every excuse, my friend knocked them down. I know she must have been tired of my excuses, but she stuck with me as true friends do. I finally took a leap of faith and enrolled for my first semester. Believe it or not, I ended up doing really well. I continued to do well semester after semester, and wouldn't you know it, I began to have hope that this whole college experience would actually work out. I began to feel more confident, truly loved the material I was learning, made a few friends, and started to feel somewhat normal again. I knew I'd made the right choice coming here because I could feel the change inside of myself. Feeling that change, knowing how much I had progressed in such a short time, made me feel like this place was a lifeline. I began to think that I could dare to dream again. After completing all of the courses I was able to online, it finally dawned on me that all of the other classes I needed for my degree had to be taken on campus. For the first time since my world changed, I wanted to be among strangers. I wanted to fight the fear I felt creeping up because I knew I was safe here. I knew this place offered me more than just an education. This place offered me hope. I sat down with my husband, went over our finances, and tried to see if there was any way for us to save money for gas and a babysitter. Couponing was already my best friend and bar that. There was nothing else we could skip on. We were already barely making it, and I wasn't willing to lose our home for me to continue my education. I made a trip to campus to talk with one of my professors so that I could explain my situation and she would know that I had not just given up. After explaining everything, she asked me why I hadn't applied for scholarships to the college. The thought just never really crossed my mind. I had good grades, but I felt conflicted about putting myself out there like that. I kept thinking, why would anyone pick me? They don't know me. They've got no idea what I went through. So there's just no way. But I had come to love this college and the people in it. I felt comfortable here. I didn't want to let that go. So I filled out the scholarship application and put my faith in all of you. A few weeks went by and I continued with my daily routine. Family time, lots of homework, and lots of emails. I was looking through my inbox when I heard a ping. A new email had arrived. I clicked on it and it read, "Congratulations, you have been chosen as a recipient of the Blue Ridge Education Foundation Scholarship." I remember feeling shocked and totally overwhelmed to have been selected. I called my mom and told her the good news, not even being able to comprehend the fact that people who didn't even know me believed in me enough to help me continue my education. We discussed how much I figured I was going to need, and even though the scholarship was not the total amount needed, I had already begun thinking about ways that I could earn the rest, so I knew it would be difficult. I had just gotten off the phone with her when 2 more pings notified me that I had just received more emails. I went to check my inbox and saw 2 more emails with congratulations. To say that I became a blubbering mess would be an understatement. When my husband answered his phone, he kept telling me to calm down, that he couldn't understand me, and I honestly think he thought something bad had happened. Finally, after many failed attempts of trying to explain to him what was going on, I was able to calm down enough to get the words out. They chose me. I get to keep going to school. My husband will be the first one to tell you that this college saved me in more ways than one. He has stated numerous times that he feels like he's gotten his wife back, a stronger and better version, Charity 2.0. Because of your scholarships in this college family, I've been able to go to class, participate in study groups, become an active member in various clubs, volunteer in our community, and pay child care when it was needed. But more importantly, I was able to interact with individuals who I didn't know and come to terms with the fact that there are many good people out there to counteract the bad. I was made to fight my fears all while knowing I was in a safe environment. I was able to learn to trust again, learn to believe in myself again, and maybe even hope a little. I was able to come out of my shell, open up, find my calling and fight my fears, all because you believed in me and you didn't have to. My mom has always told me that everything happens for a reason. I never fully understood that statement until now. Without all the pain and suffering, without being forced to fight for what I wanted, I would have never found the strength to stand here today. As you can see, your scholarships have made a huge difference in my life, as has this college. Not only did you provide me with the means to pursue my dream and for me to graduate in a field that I love and am passionate about, you gave me so much more. You gave me a life worth living. You all gave me hope. I can honestly say that I'm planning for the future. I have dreams I want to pursue, and I'm happy. I never thought the day would come when I would consider myself to be a better person because of everything I've been through. I would like to leave you with 2 of my favorite quotes. The first one is by an unknown author, which states, "Fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours." As many of you can see, I chose the latter, and I hope you do too. The second quote is by Ernest Hemingway, who once stated, "We are all broken. That's how the light gets in." Every one of you are a beacon of light in a dark world. You offer hope and affect change in the most meaningful ways imaginable. And your legacy will continue on through those of us who you have impacted so greatly. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being my light and helping me heal. I will endeavor to pass it on.